Hey guys, number one Marmaduke fan here, and this is Double Manga Duel. Oh no! I accidentally returned Volume 5 of Case Closed before reading it. What will I do? Will I be able to read Volume 6, or am I going to have to go all the way back to the library to get Volume 5 again? What's that, Gosho Aoyama? You put a handy dandy recap in the first couple pages to get me caught up on what's going on, naturally working it into the dialogue? Oh boy! So Conan, a woman claiming to be Conan's mother, has come to kidnap him, and he's escaped, and he's afraid that they'll kill him if they catch him because they might be associated with the mysterious syndicate. Oh boy, I'm all caught up. I'm ready for the mystery. Are you going to do anything to further the subplot of him finding the syndicate and undoing the chemical that turned him into a little kid? Nope! Absolutely no progress on that plot. Hey kids, mysteries! That's what this series is all about. It's perfect. Every volume of Case Closed is the same. It delivers on that thing. I also thought it was interesting that the masked guy has a definite, gentleman thief tuxedo mask vibe. I don't know what it is about Japan, but the gentleman thief is like in everything. Everybody wants to reference him. Everybody wants to pay homages to him. So I might have to just go check it out just to see why the heck Japan is so obsessed with that character. But the next story, The Three Visitors, it's another kind of like, hey kids, mysteries, this guy's going to get murdered kind of deal. And I thought that this one was interesting because it had a lot of little quiet moments and establishing shots. And I thought this was great for building tension. So, like the house and Conan being bored at the lake and Richard Moore being bored smoking a cigarette, and then the weird ringing, right? So there's contrast, quiet, quiet, ring, 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 and then back to like some mysterious sounds and more quiet the long hall toward the darkness and the little grandfather clock. I just thought that was so interesting. He is using quiet moments and like these loud, noisy moments to build tension for something. At the end, we find out that Gosho Aoyama is on Team PC, not Team Mac. I Look at me. Look at all these stupid dongles I have. He tried to warn us, and we didn't listen. We didn't listen. We thought Steve Jobs had it all. Okay, and I love this guy so much. Like, he's clearly read every single mystery in existence in order to write these mysteries. So, Kasuke Kindaichi, created by Seishi Yokomizo. And the description of him is that he has kind of like this disarming demeanor and messy hair that makes him look kind of unintimidating at first. And my immediate thought was, gee, I wonder if this had anything to do with Lieutenant Columbo. And if you don't know Lieutenant Columbo, you gotta watch the Columbo TV series. It's great television. It was good in 1960 or 1970, whenever. It's good television today. It's a perfect character played perfectly by an actor. But the charm of Columbo is you always know who the murderer is. You just don't know how he's going to catch them. And he has this sort of winsome, almost idiotic demeanor that just kind of puts people off their guard and makes them say things they shouldn't say. And that's, I don't know, the description of Kosuke Kindaichi so parallel to that. I wondered if there was some kind of connection. Thank you, Gosho, for being the biggest mystery nerd on the planet and reading every single English and Japanese mystery writer who's ever lived so that you can write Hey Kids Mysteries. Perfect series. I will review Volume 5, though, but such a good job of like getting me caught up that I didn't need to read Volume 5. Okay, Bleach, 6 volumes in. I've enjoyed every volume. I've kind of warmly recommended every volume. But by Volume 6, I think my read on this series is this would have been the perfect series for me when I was 11, which sounds like a backhanded compliment, but it's not, because the comics industry needs good, fun books for 11-year-olds that will make 11-year-olds think. And when you grow up, it's like, oh, it's so simple, it's so straightforward, but there's some really great stuff in this one. So let me just flip through it. So number one, I liked getting to see like the photo of the cat who later shows up in the manga as a little, real life inspiration for a character. I like the weird poetry he puts at the start. Like, is this a quote from someone? Did he make it up? I don't know. It's just an interesting little mood setter. I think Tite Kubo's deal is he has characters with a lot of like heart and sympathy to them, and he balances that with a lot of like weird, unique visual flair. I think he must look at a lot of fashion magazines, and he must look at a lot of Western sources to give everything this kind of weird cultural mashup vibe. And I love that his monsters are like little kid monsters. They're not gorish and horrifically terrifying, but they are all kind of vaguely creepy in their own unique way. So, let's think about little things 11-year-old boys would love. Cool monsters, okay. Guys with a giant sword. Okay, this was neat. So this guy, whatever, he's a Quincy. That's not his name, it's what he is. So Quincy's hate Soul Reapers because the Soul Reapers murdered all the Quincy's. But the Soul Reapers' explanation is that because the Quincy's were killing all these Hollows, they were, bringing unbalance to the world, and they were threatening to destroy the world. So it's kind of like this complex moral question where what do you do? Do you kill the people to save the world? Do you talk it out? But so basically, Ichigo hears that and he runs up to the guy and says, "Hey, I know your backstory now." He says, "Look, I don't care. I actually kind of agree with the Soul Reapers. They did what they had to do. I just don't like you guys personally because you killed my master." And he had an idea for the Quincy's and the Soul Reapers to work together. And there's this cool back and forth where all the monsters are attacking, and even though they don't like each other, they realize they got to work together. But what I like about this is such a really, really simple presentation of kind of a deeper moral problem of competing ideologies who have maybe a different perspective on how to deal with the problem. It's almost kind of like the gun debate where people say, "Oh, well, won't the police protect you from the criminals?" Yeah, when a guy's busting through my house and shooting at me, the police are 10 minutes away. When seconds count, the police are minutes away. So it's not like he hates the Soul Reapers. He just doesn't like the idea that the Soul Reapers are too slow to deal with the crisis of Hollows, and the Quincy's are a little bit more direct in their approach. More of these cool monster designs where there's always a unique vibe and inspiration to every one of them. So there's this interesting kind of simple presentation of the ideological differences between the two superpower sides, and there's a nice little character building moment. So he asks him, "Why are you doing all this?" "My mother was killed by a Hollow." Now you get it. That's reason enough by itself, but it's not the only one. It's I don't want anyone else to go through that. Since that Hollow killed my mother, my dad and sisters have had a rough time. I don't want anyone else to go through that. And so he's a lot like Batman. A bad thing happened to his mother. It's broken his heart, and he doesn't want that to happen to someone else. And I found it interesting that he actually cited Superman in this, because it's always interesting when a Japanese artist kind of references a Western character. I'm not Superman. I can't protect everybody in the world, but I don't just want to protect the few but I don't just want to protect the few who I can hold in my arms either. So he does want to protect his family, but he kind of feels a responsibility to apply that principle to beyond his own family. Great. I actually misread that the first time I read it. So this is just, there's a distinct contrast, I think, between the way the Japanese portray a lot of their characters and the way that Western comic artists portray a lot of their characters. So in Western comics, a lot of superheroes have a superpower. And Superman's problem was they kept giving him a new superpower every week. But the Flash is fast. The Green Lantern can make constructs. Spider-Man can stick to walls. And a lot of Shonen Jump boys protagonists have what I call super duper power, where you can't really describe the super duper power in those simple terms. It's just it's this energy within them that they must summon. And almost all of the Shonen Jump protagonists, they have unlimited quantities of this super duper power energy. But I like that there's this twisteroo that he's not unlimited in his abilities like a Superman. He just has sort of these more modest goals for himself as a hero. And I like this sort of contrast where Ichigo has all this power, but he doesn't know how to control it. So it's all about turning a faucet on and off. I love when they use kind of simple, concrete visual metaphors for how the super duper power works. Now I would like to see a little bit more variety among shonen books. I wish not every Shonen Jump book had the super duper key energy that's inside you and you must harness it like water or something. But I think a talented person can take that trope and still get you invested in it, because they don't just make it an instant win. I marked this because this was funny. He has this dumb idea that he'll cut the monster at the legs and keep cutting until he gets to the head. There's something exactly like that in the King Arthur mythos. I remember it because I read it when I was 12, and I thought it was really weird because he kept cutting the giant, and then the giant was sad because he lost his privy parts. That's why I remember it all those years later. And with Tite Kubo, he's such a Western lover. Maybe he actually read the Arthurian mythos to get some of that inspiration. There's also a really cool thing where, like, the Quincy was kind of a jerk. He wanted to fight Soul Reaper, so he had this bright idea that he'll lure a bunch of hollow monsters to the town. And that's selfish. It was kind of a jerky move. It put a lot of people in danger just so he could prove himself. And Ichigo says, yeah, I'm going to kick your butt for that later, but for right now, I need you to help me. So, because manga isn't written by evil SJW robots, the character has to do something to make up for his mistake. He made the mistake of being too confident and thinking he could handle all these monsters. He put other people in danger, so he has to pay for that by essentially pushing himself to the limit to save Ichigo and save everyone, and that's how he becomes sort of redeemed in our eyes. Again, this is so simple, it's perfect for 11-year-olds. So the Soul Reapers, they have super duper power on the inside, they push the super duper power into their swords. The Quincy's, they absorb super duper power from the outside, and they attach that to their weapons. All right, it's so straightforward, it's so simple, but it's all I need to say. Okay, they do that kind of thing, they do that kind of thing. And then they do a cool thing where it's like, hey, I can absorb powers, and you can, push out all this power, so you push out your power, and I'll absorb it into the arrow, and we'll fire it at the guy. It's cool! They do cool stuff with the super duper powers. Okay, yeah, here's the Quincy guy, getting injured and hurting his hands, pushing himself to the limit to make up for his mistake. And, like all the characters have like a little psychology to them. Like the Quincy, he hates Soul Reapers because they killed his master, but he also has a lot of shame and self-loathing because he didn't do anything to save his master at the time. And it's great. And is there something else? Oh, and then there's like a cool setup for the next thing. Look, and then like you can send in, if it was 2001, you could send in your question and have it answered by Radio Con Baby. This would have been the greatest thing to get into in the early 2000s when you were 11. I'm going to keep reading it. As long as I love it, I'm going to keep reading it. 11 minutes. You know what? Let's do a quick unboxing because I don't think that needs its own whole video. So I'm pretty sure I know what this is. This is from George Alexopoulos from the Problematic collection, and these are postcards. I'd actually like to open these up and let you look at them so that you know to back George the next time there's a Problematic Kickstarter or crowdfunding event. So I'm going to open this up here. Can I slip them out? I'm going to set you guys down for a second while I do this because I don't want to get tape all over these postcards. Oh, I see how he did this. Okay, so there's a piece of tape here and a piece of tape here. Can I do it? Can I unfold a piece of plastic that's a fraction of an inch? All right, here we go. Guys, I'm not going to ruin my beautiful postcards just to do an unboxing video. Oh no, did I ruin my beautiful postcards? Oh, that's some sticky tape. Oh no, is this going to be a tragedy where I ruin everything? What a dark twist for the #1 Marmaduke fan show. Oh, I saved it. I was breathing deep there for a second. All right. Cool. These are color prints of his characters. All right. Cool beans. Xavier. All right. So you can read Problematic on Line Webtoon. I'll link to it since I'm doing an unboxing. Oh, cool. It's dangerous to go. You think you have what it takes to open this book? I don't think you do. Because if you did, you wouldn't be reading this. You would have opened the book like a champion. As it stands, you're reading this. See? You're still doing it. If you're really the chosen one, you would have opened the book by now. Maybe you are the chosen one, but you're just not ready to handle what's in these pages. Or maybe you're not the chosen one. I, for one, am afraid to live in a world with a chosen one who needs to read the back of a book to determine whether or not they've got the guts to read it. I wonder, was that in a previous edition of your book, George? All right. Sweet. Oh, I'm glad I got these. I love what George does with his characters. Like, he doesn't just do, endless... It is a gag-a-day strip format, but he actually kind of builds the characters over time so that they kind of grow and change a little bit, and new dynamics get introduced. So, it was one of my favorite webcomics that I'm very slow to start a webcomic, because then I'll want to read all 800 of them, and something's got to keep me invested beyond just the gags, and George definitely delivers on that. Very cool. All right, well, we're doing unboxing. So I think I know what these is because I got 2 of them. I think these are for Column, and they came after the comic. So let's pop this open. I think I'm going to have to do a giveaway for one of the 2 versions of Column I got. Here we go again, gang. I'm going to struggle to open a piece of tape. But since I got 2 copies of it, what I think I'm going to do is I have full-time work now. So I think I'm going to splurge and finally get like a P.O. box so that I can send people something without doxing myself, and they could send things to me at the channel if they want me to review a book or something. Oh boy, oh boy. So I think there are going to be like 4 of these posters. So I'm going to take them out of the tube first, and I might move us over to my bed. How do I get these out? It's a struggle. Come on. Oh, I think I got it. All right, I got them. All right, let's set us up over here. Impromptu. Let's see here. All right, this is going to be fun because they're going to unroll while I'm holding it. So, war bonus to have and to hold. Nice. Now, I think all of these were done by the same artist who did like the regular cover. Oh, wow. Watch her back. All right, you're going to get like a brief glimpse of these as they immediately roll up right after I look at them. Tips that will keep your ever-loving Sweet 16 Field Stripped Edition. I love Column so much. I can't wait for the next issue. So if you don't know what Column is, it's basically World War III with girls in tanks. Stay combat effective. Stay hydrated. A wartime reminder from the U.S. Army. Come on. Will it unfold? Yes. Come on. Nice. Her tank is full. Is yours? Don't. But they had this great idea to kind of like limit some of the technology so that it wasn't all just like modern warfare is boring. It's mostly like sending the drone, blow up the target. And World War II was really interesting because there was all of like the strategy and tactics to the land warfare. So they had this great idea to kind of like have someone create this technology which limits our Air Force. Therefore, we have to return to tank warfare. So Column is great. Problematic is great. Awesome. I'm so glad I backed those books. All right. 17 minutes. We got to call it. I'm number one Marmaduke fan. I love you guys. Don't get a Mac, whatever you do. Catch you later.